Alright, lads, right? I say lads. Women do watch these videos too, but anyway. We got a fight this weekend, alright? We get Joyce, Daniel Dubois. Now, I've given my prediction. I've gone over the two guys. I've talked about them in great lengths. I've said everything that needs to be said. I done that prediction video, I think, about this time last week, okay? So, I'm not going in depth. I'm not going to give another prediction. I'm not going to say this, that, and the other, right? What I've noticed about this fight is, though, it's weird, right? Because when this fight was first being talked about as far back as last year, alright, the general consensus at the time was Dubois going to win the fight. Like, go back, that was genuinely, from what I saw, that was the consensus amongst fans. Dubois is going to win the fight. Dubois is going to win the fight. Dubois is going to win the fight. Now, Dubois, if you go on to like Paddy Power, Bet365, anything like that, he is still favourite. And he's quite, I don't say a lengthy favourite, but Joyce, the odds on him are quite tempting. You know, I'm not really much of a betting guy, so I don't tend to bet a lot anyway. But if I had a spare tenner to chuck around, you know, Paddy Power doing quite good odds on Joyce. It has to be said. Alright, this isn't the prediction video. As I said, I've already done that. I've given my 2 cents on it. I still think Daniel Dubois is going to win this fight. I think he's going to win it on points, irrespective of whether he deserves it or not. But the reason behind this video is that over the last, basically over the last 2 weeks, it's really been pretty much since I made that prediction video. I know I felt it, and I know Dale has felt it as well, and he's picking Daniel Dubois still to this day to win. But we've noticed a sizable shift in terms of people picking Joyce to win. Now, I think Mark is picking Joyce to win. I think Beats and I know D is. I think they're going with Joyce. Joyce is one of those guys where you look at him and you just think, how are you so successful with that style? Because he's very slow, he's very clunky, he looks very awkward. But this is a guy who's beaten, you know, as an amateur, beaten some of the best amateurs in the world at the time. This is a guy who's fought at a very high level. This is a silver medalist, Olympic silver medalist. And you just look and you just think, Jesus, you know, I mean, to say that that style works for you is an understatement, because if you got any other boxer, you know, of similar characteristics to Joyce to fight like that, they probably wouldn't even win, you know, say an All-Ireland title, because I'm not 100% sure what the names are in the UK for amateur titles. They probably wouldn't even get that far, you know. So Joyce, his style works for him. I've seen fighters like David Price, amongst others, pick Joyce. I've seen in live streams, when I've asked the question, who you think will win, the majority, but a very small majority, retrospectively, are saying Dubois. So I've noticed it shift a lot. I've noticed that it was, we'll say, all over there. At one stage it was for Dubois, and it was kind of more in the middle, right? And the more I look at everything, the more I assess it. I make a promise on this channel, right? Once I've given my prediction, and once I've made my prediction, I don't backtrack on it. Unless you see something, unless you hear of something so, you know, earth-shattering that you just think, no, in that case then no. Like, for example, I'll put it like this. I never picked Andy Ruiz to beat Anthony Joshua in the rematch, right? I never did. But say, for argument's sake, in an alternate world, I was picking Andy Ruiz in the rematch. Alright, we'll say it's this time last year, I was picking Andy Ruiz in the rematch. Haven't seen the weigh-in, I would have then picked Anthony Joshua. I would have made a video and I would have said, look, sorry lads, but I got to change it. Alright, other than that, and obviously that didn't happen, but that would be an extreme circumstance where I'd say, do you know what, the hell with it, I'm changing my prediction. So I don't, and I've made that prediction video, I'm sticking with it. So I'm sticking with Dubois to win this fight on points. But lads, I mean, the more I kind of think about it now, and the more I kind of replay it over and over in my head, I'm seriously, I'm not going to change it. But lads, Joyce, he is game. And I still can't get over the odds are so wide on him. Like, they're not crazy wide. Like, I think Povetkin was wider, you know, when he was fighting Dylan White. But still, though, I mean, Joyce is undefeated. He's very game. He's very lively. He's a very much a live opponent, you know. And for him to be such a far away in terms of the odds for Dubois is a bit of a head scratcher. It's good for you guys if you're betting money on him, because it's going to return you a nice little sum of money if you do bet on him. The more I think about this, the more I think Joyce has a... Look, I give him a chance irrespective. Like I said it last year, he's got a good chance of winning. But now, having really thought about everything over and over in my head, and I watched a couple more Joyce performances. I watched the knockout loss in the amateur he had to Kuzman, and he was really... it was stopped premature, and he really was cock cold. If you go back and watch it, he was cock cold against Kuzman. He was, for the most part, like against Hrgovic, he's shown a very, very good chin, Joe Joyce, and he beat Hrgovic. I watched the Usyk fight again, but that was just more so for just a scouting mission for Usyk as opposed to actual Dubois versus Joyce, because could you imagine Dubois getting up on his toes doing that kind of movement and counter punching? I can't. It would be funny, but no, I watched a couple of Joe Joyce's performances, and I watched a couple of his early fights, like against Ian Lewis and like against that Donny Palmer guy, and I think it was he had a Lenroy Thomas fight when he had Ishmael Salas with him. He's back with Ishmael Salas for this fight. The more I watch it, the more I just think, this is going to be an interesting fight. All right, I genuinely do. Put it like this, right? I think if Dubois wins, he is more likely to win it on points. I think if Joe Joyce is going to win, and there's a very, very good chance he will, I think he's knocking Daniel Dubois out. I really, truly do. As for what the winner does, maybe I'll do a separate video on that closer to the fight. Maybe I'll talk about it after the fight. I don't know, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. In terms of this, right here and now, I ain't changing my prediction. But lads, Joe Joyce is game in here. I'm looking forward to this fight, lads. I'm really, really looking forward. I'm interested to see what they weigh. Joe Joyce looking in good shape in a couple of his recent picks, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they weigh, lads. Gonna leave it here. Quick little video here. By the way, if you made it this far, right, as we know, I mentioned a certain someone, a Sky broadcaster by the name of Harley Quinn. Have a look at that on screen right there. That was 20 quid well spent, lads. I'm just gonna say it there. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Look, this is gonna go out first thing in the morning, probably about 7 o'clock. This evening, let's talk about boxing. Wednesday, we're gonna do it. We talk to you later, lads. I'll talk to you for now. Peace.